Hello, and welcome back to MoonMagic Bedtime Stories. Tonight, we join Princess Cinderella for another full, 10-minute adventure. The kingdom is buzzing with excitement for a new, golden bell, meant to replace the old, cracked one that has rung for centuries. But Cinderella fears that in their excitement for the new, they are about to lose something irreplaceable. This is a curious story about a broken sound, a hidden purpose, and the magic of seeing with your heart. So snuggle in, and let the story begin. For 500 years, in the highest tower of the castle, hung a great bronze bell named Old Benedict. It was massive and green with age, and across its side ran a long, jagged crack. Because of this crack, its ring was not a perfect, clear chime. It was a deep, resonant, and slightly dissonant hum, a unique voice that had marked the hours for generations. One morning, the royal advisor made a grand announcement in the courtyard. "People of the kingdom," he proclaimed. "For too long, we have been represented by a broken, cracked bell. I have commissioned a new bell, cast from pure gold, with a perfect, flawless tone. A bell worthy of our great kingdom." The crowd cheered. A new golden bell. It sounded wonderful. But Cinderella, watching from a balcony, felt a strange sadness. She looked up at the tower where Old Benedict hung, silent. It felt less like an upgrade, and more like a goodbye to an old friend. That evening, she spoke with the prince. "Everyone is so excited," she said, "but the sound of Old Benedict is the sound of home." She walked through the market, listening. An old baker kneaded his dough in time with the bell's familiar, offbeat rhythm. "It is the heartbeat of the town," he told her with a smile. A young mother rocked her baby, who had finally fallen asleep to the deep, humming sound. "The perfect bells from other towns are too sharp," she whispered. "They startle the little ones. Old Benedict. He rumbles them to sleep. It feels wrong to simply replace it, because it is old and cracked." The prince nodded, taking her hand. "I know what you mean. My grandfather used to say that Old Benedict didn't just tell the time. It sang to the mountains. He said the crack gave it a voice unlike any other." The next day, Cinderella climbed the winding stairs to the bell tower. The room was filled with the scent of old wood and bronze. She ran her hand over the crack in Old Benedict. It was like a wrinkle on a beloved, ancient face. The old bell ringer was there, polishing the bell one last time. "A sad day, Your Highness," he said, his voice low. "You will not be happy to ring the new bell?" Cinderella asked. "Oh, I'm sure it will be loud and perfect," the old man sighed. "But it won't be Benedict. His song is special. The way the sound echoes in the valley. It's a conversation. The new bell will just be a shout, a conversation with the valley." The prince's words came back to her. It sang to the mountains. Determined, Cinderella went to the royal library. Surrounded by towering shelves of ancient books, she searched for information about the bell and the valley. In a dusty, forgotten tome, titled "The Kingdom's Echoes," she found a chapter on sonic cartography. It described a unique method of map-making using sound. And it mentioned only one master of the craft, a blind cartographer named Alistair, who had served the kingdom for 70 years. His name almost as old as the book itself. Suddenly, Cinderella remembered someone else, who was a master of the valley's secrets. Alistair, the royal cartographer. He was a very old man, who had been blind since he was a boy, yet he was the greatest mapmaker the kingdom had ever known. He lived in a quiet cottage on the edge of the castle grounds, filled with maps of every kind. Cinderella hurried to his cottage. The room was a marvel, covered in maps drawn with raised ink, so they could be read with fingertips. Alistair sat at a large table, his hands still. "Alistair," Cinderella said gently, "I have come to speak with you about the new bell." A deep sadness crossed the old man's face. "Ah, yes, the perfect, golden bell. I have been dreading its arrival." "Why?" Cinderella asked, sitting beside him. "Your Highness," he explained, his voice soft. "How do you think a blind man maps a changing world? I cannot see the river change its course, or a rock slide alter a cliff face. But I can hear. Old Benedict's cracked chime is unique. When it rings, the echo that returns from the valley is a symphony of information. The way the sound bounces off the sentinel peak, the way it is absorbed by the whispering woods, the way it is softened by a new blanket of snow. The echoes paint a picture of the valley for me. It is how I keep the kingdom's maps true. It is how I keep our people safe." He ran a hand over his unfinished map. "A new, perfect bell will send out a perfect, uniform echo. It will tell me nothing. It will be like blinding me all over again." Alistair smiled sadly. "Let me show you," he said. He asked Cinderella to wait for the bell to ring. When old Benedict's deep, humming chime echoed through the valley, Alistair's hands danced across his map. "Do you hear that?" he whispered. "That long, slow echo is from the flat face of the Sentinel Peak. That sharp, quick return is from the new rock slide near the waterfall. And that soft, muffled sound, that is the sound of the whispering woods, thick with new spring leaves." His fingers traced lines and shapes that were invisible to Cinderella, but to him, they were a perfect, living picture of the world. "The bell is my eyes, Your Highness," he said, his voice trembling slightly. "Without its voice, I am truly lost." Cinderella's heart sank. The kingdom was about to lose its eyes and ears, all for the sake of something new and shiny. She raced back to the main hall, where the advisor was admiring the enormous, gleaming new bell, which was ready to be hoisted into the tower. "Stop," Cinderella called out. "We cannot replace old Benedict." The advisor turned, annoyed. "Your Highness, we have been over this. The old bell is broken. This one is perfect. Its imperfection is its purpose," Cinderella explained. She told him everything Alistair had said, how the cracked bell's unique echo was the only way the blind mapmaker could keep the kingdom safe. The advisor was stunned into silence. He, a man of logic and facts, could not argue with such a vital and unexpected truth. He looked at the new, golden bell, then at Cinderella, and for the first time, his pride seemed to waver. A decision was made. The new golden bell was not hoisted into the main tower. Instead, it was given a place of honor in the new town square. And old Benedict, the cracked, imperfect, and irreplaceable guardian of the valley, remained in its rightful place. That evening, as the sun set, old Benedict rang out, its familiar, flawed voice echoing through the mountains. The royal advisor, humbled, personally oversaw the placement of the new golden bell in the town square. He did not bark orders, but spoke quietly with the workers, ensuring it was placed just right. He looked up at the high tower where old Benedict remained, and a look of newfound respect crossed his face. He was beginning to understand that true value was not always something you could see, but something you had to listen for. And in his cottage, Alistair smiled, his fingers tracing the true and living map of his home. A map only he and the old bell could read together. And so, Cinderella reminded the kingdom that the newest things are not always the best things, and that a thing is not broken simply because it is cracked. Sometimes, it is in the imperfections that the truest, most important magic can be found. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a like, and subscribe to MoonMagic Bedtime Stories for more wonderful tales. Thank you for joining us. We hope you have a peaceful and happy night. Remember to listen for the beauty in imperfect things. They often have the most important stories to tell. We'll see you for the next story.